And the 2024 World Series has moved from Philadelphia to Cleveland. It's game number 3 of the World Series between the Phillies and the Cleveland Guardians. The series is tied up at 1 game apiece. And good evening, folks. Welcome to the broadcast booth. In this one, I'm Josh Wright doing the play-by-play as always. And it is time to get going for game 3 of this 2024 Simulation Series World Series. Tanner Bybee will get the start today for Cleveland, and Zach Wheeler will have to start for the Philadelphia Phillies here tonight. This Cleveland crowd is ready to go, as their Guardians are 3 wins away from their first World Series since 1948. How about that? 3 wins away. A little recap here for you. The Phillies won Game 1, 6-4 at home, and then Game 2 was won by the Guardians in extra innings, thanks to a solo blast hit by Josh Naylor. Tanner Bybee and the Guardians are getting set to take the field. Lineups and first pitch coming up here on Red Sox Sports. Now there's Tanner Bybee getting ready to go for Game 3. 4 starts made this October. He's 1-2, 3.79 ERA and 19 innings pitched. He's been probably one of the best starters in that Cleveland rotation. And Kyle Schwarber will lead off, hitting 154. He did not do a whole lot in Game 2 of this series. First pitch to him fouled off, and the count's 0-1. Schwarber, this is World Series number 3 appearance for him. One with the Cubs in 2016 against Cleveland, ironically. They were the Indians at the time, against the old Cleveland Indians, and now in 2022 he came up short with the Phillies. And then this year he's hoping to, in this simulation series, he's hoping to try and get another ring with the Philadelphia Phillies. 0-2 pitch.
1-2.
Curveball, that about hits him. About hit him in the legs. It's 1-2. Takes it downstairs, 2-2. Big crowd here in Cleveland as they get ready to go. A curveball, nasty swing, 1 away. So Bybee's able to get the first out. Gets Kyle Schwarber swinging on a very nasty curveball. That will bring in Trey Turner. Turner hitting 341. I know Kyle Schwarber has been the leadoff hitter in the Phillies lineup this postseason, but Kyle Schwarber has not been as consistent as Trey Turner has. As you can see, obviously, the batting average is a lot better. He's been getting on base a lot more than Schwarber has. Trey Turner, all around, has been a really fun player to watch throughout this simulation. Not just with the bat either, but with the glove too. He's made some really stellar plays. Fouls off the fastball, and he keeps the at-bat alive. How about this? Both teams have been around for quite a while, and it's the first time these two teams have met in the World Series. 2-2 pitch from Bybee to Turner. That's fouled off again. This time Turner is working the count full, with 1 out and Bryce Harper coming up next. Ball 4, working the walk. That'll put a runner on for the Phillies, and Bryce Harper's coming up next. And the Phillies are in business or trying to get into business here early in the first inning. As Harper takes a fastball 0-1. The best batting average on the team this year in this postseason run's got to go to Harper. 350 batting average. Over 1,150 OPS. A few home runs hit here and there. And he comes up clutch when his team needs him to. Here comes an 0-2. Big swing and a miss, and it's the second out of the first inning. Talk about trying to come up clutch when his team needs him to. So 2 men gone now. Here's Castellanos sitting 289 with batting average 973 OPS. That's got to be the second best on the Phillies. 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in. That's up high, ball 1. When this postseason series is over, we plan on doing like a little home run compilation, I guess you could say, of all the home run calls that we had. Pickoff throw to first, and Turner goes back safely. Here's a 1-1 to Castellanos, a nasty swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Castellanos, this is team number 4 for him in his career. He's been a Tiger, he's been a Cub, Cincinnati Red, and now the Phillies. He's got a 2-2 count on him. He pokes a slider in the right. That is going to be caught by Daniel Schneemann for out number 3, and we are going to the Guardians half of the inning. Stay tuned. Now there's Zach Wheeler on the mound today for the Phillies. 1 start this postseason, and he ended up winning it. 5 2/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, and a 4.76 ERA with a 1.41 whip. He'll make start number 2 in this postseason, and it's in Game 3 of the World Series. Here comes Stephen Kwan to lead things off. First pitch to him, taken for a strike. Probably one of the more strategic things I guess you can do now is just take the first pitch. Doesn't matter how hittable it is. Doesn't matter if it gets called a strike or not. You always let the first pitch go by. Now the 0-2, and Kwan pops this up. In the shallow center, and Bryson Stott coming in making the catch for the first out here in the first inning. Take a look at the lineup in this one for Cleveland. Kwan leads off. Manzardo back in the lineup today. He's a DH. Jose Ramirez hitting third at third. Lane Thomas hits fifth behind Josh Naylor. Then Daniel Schneemann, Andres Jimenez, Austin Edgers behind the plate today, filling in for Bo Naylor, and Brian Rochio is back being the shortstop. Manzardo coming in for David Fry today, or he's back in the lineup. He missed the first 2 games. Seems like he's the DH when the Guardians are facing right-handed pitchers, and then David Fry comes in against the lefties. Manzardo was a second-round pick by Cleveland in 2021, and here he is a few years later playing in the World Series. How about that? I don't know if he imagined himself playing in the World Series almost 3 years after being drafted. 1-2 fastball, and that is up high. Ends up taking it for ball 2. It's a very logical thing to do there. I wouldn't swing at that. And now he's working the count full with Jose Ramirez coming up next, with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Check swing, and the cutter strikes him out. First strikeout of the night for Zach Wheeler. And now bring in Jose Ramirez. 4 home runs this World Series, or this postseason. And he hits it in the left field. That's going to be the first hit of the ball game. And they're going to hold him over at second. And it's going to be a 2-out double for Jose Ramirez. Very fitting for him to get the first hit of the night. Now I'll bring in Josh Naylor. He had the big home run in Game 2 in extra innings. That was number 4 for him in this postseason. Had a couple against the Astros. No, he had 1 against the Astros, I believe. A couple against the Yankees, and then last night against Philadelphia. That's fouled off, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Naylor was 1 for 5 in that game. Had not done anything with the bat heading into extra innings, and then all of a sudden, boom, he had that home run. Count is 1-2. Jose Ramirez, the runner at second. 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Wheeler, and a slurve called strike 3. And Zach Wheeler's out of the inning. We go to the Phillies half of the second inning. No score here in Game 3. Top of the second inning here at Progressive Field, home of the Cleveland Indians / Guardians since 1994, originally called Jacobs Field for quite a while, and then it was renamed to Progressive Field. Does Progressive, by any chance, sponsor the Cleveland Guardians? I've always wondered that, if they're, if they have a name, like if your stadium is named after like a certain company, does that company sponsor it? 2-2 to Alec Boehm. That's a good question. Alec Boehm becomes strikeout number 3 of the night for Tanner Bybee, and out number 1 here in the second inning. So I'll bring in Bryson Stott with 1 out here in the second inning. 1 RBI in this postseason. That's all he's done. Inning 067 has a .133 OPS. Fastball 1-1. First round pick by the Phillies in 2019. Clearly he was a first round pick for his glove and not exactly for his bat. Was originally a shortstop and then moved to second after they ended up signing Trey Turner to a big old contract. Another strikeout for Tanner Bybee. That's his 4th of the day. So I'll bring in JT Realmuto. He's not hitting very well in this postseason either. Hitting .139. A home run, which came in Game 3 of the division series in Milwaukee. 4 runs batted in and .417 OPS. Fastball taken 1-1. Realmuto, 3-time All-Star. 2018 with the Miami Marlins, and then the other 2 times that was when he was wearing the Phillies red helmet and has the Philly P on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Probably smells like pee. Fastball 2-2. I once heard someone mention that the entire city of Philadelphia smells like pee. I take his word for it. It probably does. I imagine a lot of East Coast cities have foul smells to them. Counts 2-2 to Realmuto. That's popped up. That's Austin Hedges. One veteran catcher pops up to the other. And we go to the home half of inning number 2 here in Cleveland. Lane Thomas, Daniel Schneemann, Anders Jimenez all due up. It is no score. Come in. Home half of inning number 2 underway here in Cleveland. And Lane Thomas hits a hard grounder to Trey Turner. Throw to first in time. And that is out number 1. Now bring in Daniel Schneemann hitting .214. 4 runs batted in. He's been platooning out in right field with Jinkinsey Noel throughout this postseason run. As you can see, the Guardians, they've been platooning a lot of their guys a lot. Austin Hedges and Bo Naylor, they've both been sharing time behind home plate. There's a strike, 2-1. Daniel Schneemann and Jinkinsey Noel splitting time in right field, and then the DH spot has been split between David Fry and Kyle Manzardo. And now Bryson Stott making a play at second base. That's out number 2. That'll bring in Andres Jimenez. He's hitting .260 in this Cleveland October-November postseason run. Now that in November, since we're still doing this in November. And it's almost Thanksgiving time, and we're still live streaming MLB The Show. Most people, I think they usually do football at this point. Nope, we're still doing baseball. Because why not? It's our favorite sport, as you guys can tell. It's our number 1 sport. And then when this World Series is over, we're going to be switching over to college football and Madden here very soon. Here comes the 1-2. Sinker. No. Ball 2. No, said the home plate umpire. Okay. And now he's working the count full. With Austin Hedges coming up next. Ball 4. And so a 2-out walk has been issued. With Austin Hedges coming up next, as you can see, he's been a huge part of this Cleveland postseason success. With that good old, look at that batting average it is. Oh, yeah. Was 0 for 4 in his last game. All right. Yeah, he's really helping this team out in the winning category. There's a pop-up to Harper. And we played 2 full. Hope you guys know I was being sarcastic there when I was talking about Austin Hedges. Brandon Marsh, Austin Hayes, Kyle Schwarber all due up for the Phillies when we return for the 3rd inning. There's no score. Brandon Marsh, first up for the Phillies here today. He had a home run in Game 2. One of 2 runs batted in. Or one of 2 runs scored by the Phillies in Game 2. The other being a sac fly hit in the 9th inning. There's a fastball taken, 0-2. And it would turn out to be a 3-2 loss for the Phillies, as the Guardians, they had a 2-run double hit by David Fry, and then an extra inning, some guy named Josh Naylor hit one over the right field fence for a home run. Winning the game 3-2. Another strikeout for Bybee. That is number 5 of the day. 5 strikeouts. It's like having $5. Some random dude gave you $5. What would you do? Give him the $5 back. Can't really do anything with $5 anymore. The way the economy is. Austin Hayes 0-2 to count. But hey, the economy, hopefully it changes here very soon. as we get an old friend back in office, being our president. Here's a grounder to Bybee, throw to first in time. So 2 men gone now here in the 3rd inning. Here comes Kyle Schwarber. Sorry, I almost said Manzardo. Sorry, Kyle Manzardo plays for the Guardians. He does not play for the Philadelphia Phillies. Kyle Schwarber plays for the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber, former Cub, former Nationals and Red Sox outfielder / DH. Came up with Chicago as a catcher in 2015. Strikes out here in the 3rd to end the top of the 3rd inning. And we go to the bottom of inning number 3 here in Cleveland. Game 3 of the World Series will continue. Brian Rocio leads off, hitting a .174.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Now the 1-2 to Rocio. Sinker. Strikes him out.
Now batting, left fielder, Ivan Moore.
So 1 out. Here comes Stephen Kwan. Oh for 1 his first time up. He hit a pop-up to Bryson Stott at second base. 2-1 count from Wheeler. Wheeling and dealing. 2-2 count. Here's the 2-2. Line to Turner. And that's the second out. Two outs now. Here's Manzardo. Granted, to short ends the inning. Sorry, I was in the middle of eating some pizza. Trey Turner will lead off the fourth inning. Score is 0-0. Give me a minute. Next pitch on its way to Turner, and he fouls it off again. This is some really good pizza that I'm eating. Trey Turner might want some because he struck out.
Now back, the first baseman, Bryce Harper.
One out in the fourth. Here's Harper.
Ball, high. Here we go.
And now a 1-2 count.
Hey!
Curveball, 2 outs. Castellanos grounder to Ruscio. And a 1-2-3 inning. Another scoreless inning for Tanner Bybee. Bottom of the fourth coming up. No score here in game 3. I will be right back, fellas. Fourth inning here in Progressive Field. Inning.
Oh. 1-1. That's the ball.
2-1 count to Ramirez.
Nope. Ball 3. 3-1.
Ball 3 to Ramirez. He swings and hits a drive. Deep right field, away, back, and gone. Jose Ramirez has his 5th home run of this postseason. And the Guardians strike first in Game 3, 1-0 Cleveland. 5 home runs hit in this postseason by Jose Ramirez, and all 5 of them have been beautiful. And I believe all 5 of them were actually hit here at Progressive Field. Now comes Josh Naylor. Or here comes Josh Naylor. Don't know what that was. I wish I could take a replay of it, but I can't. 1-0 pitch. Fastball taken. Evens up the count, 1-1. Josh Naylor started his career off with the Padres, came over to Cleveland in a trade. Cleveland and San Diego, they've made a number of trades over the years. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. A lot of former Padres and Indians/Guardians players over the years. Joe Carter, the Alomar brothers, I think, start off their careers with the Padres. You've got, I said Joe Carter. Let's see, who else has played for Cleveland and San Diego? Austin Hedges was with the Padres for a number of years as their catcher. Now with Cleveland, obviously. Grounder to Bryson Stott. Nice little turn there for out number 1. And I can't think of anybody else. Chat, help us out. Padres and Guardians players over the years that have played for Cleveland and San Diego over the years. We already said Joe Carter was actually traded from Cleveland to San Diego for those prospects. And then Austin Hedges, Josh Naylor, we just saw. Yeah, there's a lot. There are a lot. Oh-2 pitch to Lane Thomas. Sinker taken, ball 1. Did not play for the San Diego Padres. He did, however, play for the Cardinals and the Washington Nationals. There's a little fly ball down the right field line. Castellanos is back. This ball's going to get down. Thomas is going to be held up at second, and it's a 1-out double. A 1-out double for Lane Thomas, and here comes Daniel Schneemann. Has a chance to make things 2-0. Sinker 0-1. 0 for 1, grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Hoping to try and hit one through and bring that runner home from second. Has an 0-2 count from Zach Wheeler. That's popped up. And it's still 0-2. Sinker called, strike 3. Another strikeout for Zach Wheeler. And now bring in Andres Jimenez. Runner at second, 2 outs. And a pop-up in foul territory. Alec Boehm is there. He puts it away. And just like that, we have played 4 full here at Progressive Field. Jose Ramirez makes it 1-0 Cleveland on this solo blast to right field. Zach Wheeler knew it was gone. Castellanos knew it was gone. Their grandmother knew that was gone. Everybody knew it was gone. 1-0 Cleveland going to the 5th inning. And Alec Boehm has the first hit of the night for the Phillies. This ball's going to get down in left field. Boehm's going to second. They're going to hold him at second. And that is the first hit of the night for the Philadelphia Phillies. their second guy to get on base here today. And so that will bring in Bryson Stott 0 for 1. Circle change, takes it for a strike. We mentioned earlier in his last at bat how he's not done a whole lot with the bat throughout this postseason. So this is his chance to really, do something. Do something big here for his team that doesn't involve the glove. Strikes out on a slider. 9 Ks on the day for the Cleveland right-hander Tanner Bybee. And so that brings in JT Realmuto. Where's that one guy that was rooting for the Guardians yesterday? I thought he'd be here. Thought he'd be here to tune into the stream. Seems like a lot of people are rooting for the Guardians in this series, including the Gaming Nights Good Time podcast. It's a podcast filled up with a few good friends of mine. Prince Stupidity, you've probably heard me talk about him a lot. Prince Stupidity, Oceans, and Sonic/Rex, they're all streamers on Kick and Twitch. And they play a bunch of games. They play a bunch of shooting games. Of course, they play Fortnite and COD. And I know Sonic, he plays Sea of Thieves. It's a game that he's really good at. I wish he could steal my thief. Anyway, that was a dumb joke. Either way, they got a podcast where they interview streamers and just talk about their lives. If you guys are interested in that podcast, go ahead, check them out. I will put a link to their stuff in the chat. And Bryson Stott's gone to end the top of the 5th inning. The Phillies got a hit. However, the next 3 batters went down on Ks. Bottom of inning number 5 coming up. It's 1-0 Guardians. Austin Hedges, Brian Riccio, Stephen Kwan all due up. Let's see, what's my favorite Gaming Nights and Good Times episode that they did? I really like the one where they interviewed, there's this one guy, I forget his name, but he was in the military for a little bit, and he was kind of talking about his, his time during serving in the Army and stuff like that. And advice that he would give to anybody any young people interested in signing up and serving for our country, whether it's the Army or the Navy. Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard even. Fastball taken, but swing and a miss by Rocio, and it's 0-2. I've watched a lot of fun of the National Guard. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Zach Wheeler. That's a slurve. That's ball 1. So any of you guys interested in checking out the Gaming Nights Good Time podcast, go ahead and give them a watch. I'm going to put a link to their stuff in the description. So that way you guys can be cool like me and watch their streams. Here you go. There it is right there. Also at 393 subscribers. Let's go. We're almost 7 away from 500. Or 400. We'd love to try and get 500, but we're currently on our way to 400. And Brian Rocio is on his way to first base after taking a full count walk. So here comes Stephen Kwan, 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 11 in this World Series so far. Now the 0-1. Double play, ball 1. And flips it over to first in time. A 4-6-3 double play, end of 5. Here in Cleveland. It's a 1-0 Guardians lead. Tanner Bybee pitching out of his mind in Game 3. He's allowed 1 hit. Allowed 2 Phillies to reach first base tonight. A walk to Trey Turner, and then he gave up a double to Alec Boehm. In 5 innings pitched so far. And he's had 9 strikeouts. He's looking for number 10. Here against Austin Hayes. Which he will get. Strikeout. Out number 1 here in the 6th inning. One out. Here comes Schwarber, 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks. Here in game number 3. Curveball taken. Outside for ball 1. For those of you just tuning into the chat, what is up? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully you guys are having a good old day. Having a good Thanksgiving break. For those of you, all you kids out there, off of school for the week, I'm sure you guys are gonna eat a lot of food, watch some football, might visit some family even. And that about hit him. And Schwarber's going to first base for the first time in quite a while. Runner on for the Phillies. Here comes Trey Turner with 1 out. Double play and you're out of it. This is the easy way out. Fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. That is hit hard in the left field. That is a base hit. Schwarber going over to third. The throw in from left is not in time, and it's 2-1 with 1 out for the Phillies. And they're going to intentionally walk Bryce Harper to get to Castellanos. There was a game where Bryce Harper, when he was still with Washington, he was walked 7 times in 1 game. It was a game the Nationals went on to lose. It was a walk-off home run. That game hit by Javi Baez. It was on the Cubs at the time, so that's something. Fly ball to left field. Who's going to make the catch? Rocio drops it. It lands, and Kwan's there to make the play. The relay back to second, and they get the double play. Unbelievable. We have to take a look at that again when we come back. We're going to have to see this again. Hang on a second. I got to write this down in my little notepad. So Phillies had the bases loaded. Castellanos, it's a little duck snort out to shallow left. Rocio, Stephen Kwan, both coming in. They look like they're about to collide with each other. Rocio makes the first move, saying, "Hey, I got it," and it's off his glove. And as you can see, runners at Trey Turner, he's confused. Schwarber's confused. Runners try to go back because they realized Stephen Kwan made the play. Relay back to Jimenez, right there to cover the bag. And that's how Tanner Bybee gets out of a pickle. You know, baseball can be an interesting sport sometimes. There's a grounder to Harper, steps on the bag. And that's the first out. Here comes Jose Ramirez. 2 for 2 on the night with a double, and then the solo blast. Hit into deep right field to give the Guardians a 1-0 lead. That's been the only run so far that has been scored in this game. There's a good chance we might see both starters go to the 7th inning tonight, depending on how Zach Wheeler's feeling, and depending on how he does here in the 6th inning, of course. Excuse me a minute. A little pop-ups. Boom is there.
The first baseman, number 22, Josh Naylor.
Brings in Josh Naylor. Getting hot in my room. I'll turn my fan on.
That's a ball.
Here comes the 1-0 to Josh Naylor. 0 for 2. Slurve taken. And it's a 1-1 count. Here comes the 1-2.
That's 3.
Another strikeout. For Zach Wheeler, end of 6. Going to the 7th. With the score, 1-0 Guardians.
No, that's a ball.
Cade Smith and Hunter Gaddis both warming up in the Guardians bullpen.
No, that's a ball.
2-0.
No. 3 balls, no strikes. Hey!
3-1 count. Alec Bohm working the count, 3-2. And leads off the 7th with a walk. Works the 7th inning with a leadoff walk. Here comes Bryson Stott. Fastball, 0-1. Slider taken. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch on its way to stop. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Or 1 and 2 probably. 2 and 2. Into right field, this time it's dropping. Going over to second is Alec Bohm. And it's 2-1. Nobody out for the Phillies, and that might almost do it for Tanner Bybee. Nope, he's still out there facing Realmuto. Guardians mascot Slider trying to work some voodoo magic on JT Realmuto during this at-bat. Here comes the 0-2.
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Fouled off again. Another strikeout. Stephen Vogt coming out of the dugout, and that might do it for Tanner Bybee.
Now pitching for the Guardians.
And the first up out of the Cleveland bullpen's Tim Herron. Lefty versus lefty. Interesting decision. 1-0 count to Brandon Marsh. One ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-2. In the air to right. Schneemann is there for the second out, and nobody's moving up. Everyone will stay put where they are.
Now batting, left fielder, Austin Hayes.
2 outs, runners at first and second. Here's Austin Hayes. Oh, 0-2. 1-2.
Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
2-2 count. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the little link there you're seeing on the far right side, that's actually a link to a buddy of mine's podcast, Gaming Nights and Good Times. And I'm also about to promote another dude's podcast.
Now batting, right fielder.
Forgot to do that, I know. And it's called the Bear Claw Podcast with another friend of mine from college. Pretty much it's a sports podcast about, well, the Bears.
Hey! 0-2.
Promoting almost everybody's stuff but mine. There's a grounder to Turner.
Got him.
And got him by half a step.
The second baseman. On good. Team header.
Ball.
2 outs now. Here's Andres Jimenez. For those of you just tuning in, it's 1-0 Cleveland.
Right, woo.
Hit to second.
You're out.
And that's the end of the 7th. Top of the lineup due up for the Phillies when we return. It's 1-0 Cleveland. Kate Smith will lead things off. Or will start the 8th inning, excuse me. As the Guardians find themselves 6 defensive outs away from winning Game 3. Kyle Schwarber 0 for 2 tonight, with a pair of strikeouts and a walk.
Ball. Outside.
Outside, ball 1. Clase and Hunter Gaddis both warming up in the Guardian bullpen. As you can see, Matt Stram and I think Orion Kerkering, I believe they're warming up in the Philly bullpen there in the back there. And Kyle Schwarber strikes out for the 3rd time today. He'll now face Turner. Hey, Braven, how are you doing, buddy? I'm doing just fine. That slapped, hit hard into right field. And Trey Turner has his second hit of the day.
Number 3. Bryce.
Now bringing in Bryce Harper with a runner on. And the Phillies with a golden opportunity to take the lead. Good, I just got done with my live stream on my other channel. Oh, cool. What's your other channel? Put a link down in the chat, and we can probably promote it. Mr. Harper 0 for 2. Like a good majority of this Philly lineup outside of Trey Turner. Cade Smith can't find the strike zone against him. 2-0. Pickoff throw to first. And it's 2-0. And now Turner's going to second, and he's in with a stolen base. So now the Phillies avoiding the double play now. That's outside, 3-1. Cade Smith probably doesn't want to face Harper. That's in the air to right field. This ball is down. Turner, he can fly. He's coming around to score. Bryce Harper ties the game here in the 8th inning.
Right fielder, Nick Castellanos.
Bryce Harper splits the gap in right field. And just like that, we have a new ball game. The game is now tied up at 1 with 1 out in the 8th. Here comes Nick Castellanos. Hey, what's going on, good sir? Just asking about you earlier. There's a grounder to Jimenez. It's out number 2. No, you're good sir. I don't expect you to stay for the entire baseball game. Baseball can be long sometimes. A lot of people complain about baseball being super long. So they do everything they can to try and make it shorter with the pitch clock and the runner at second base rule, which is not even on during the playoffs. There's a grounder to Jimenez. We're going to the 8th inning. Phillies tied the game up at 1 on an RBI double hit by Bryce Harper. Though the Guardians have a chance to answer back with Austin Hedges, Brian Rocio, and Matt Stram. However, the the Guardians go into their bench. They're going to bring in Will Brennan. The pinch hit against Matt Stram, a little lefty versus lefty matchup here. As Steve Irwin would always say, things could get interesting. Who scored first for the Guardians? Jose Ramirez had a home run. It's same account with lowercase. 2 second. One away.
The batter number 4, shortstop, Ryan Rocio.
1 out. Here comes Brian Rocio. Tanner Banks and Orion Kerkering both warming up in the bullpen now for the Phillies. Here's the 1-1 to Rocio. Slider 1-1. They don't get a hit here. They'll have the top of the order due up. Well, they'll have Stephen Kwan due up next, but then heading into the 9th, they'll have Kyle Manzardo lead off. Your internet is bad, so's mine sometimes. Rocio strikes out.
Now batting, left field.
For out number 2. His internet is bad, and so is Brian Rochio when it comes to hitting. Here comes Stephen Kwan. He's 0 for 3. He's like 0 for
One strike.
something. He's 0 for 12, I believe, in this World Series. He just comes up to bat with that depressing look on his face. Kind of looks like Travis Ishikawa in there from the Giants, and that with that batting stance. I think there was an interview with him, and someone asked him who like his favorite player growing up was, and apparently he said Travis Ishikawa.
No, that's high.
Just another, Asian American player. He had a big moment versus the Cardinals in the NLCS back in 2014. Cannot believe that was almost
2-2.
over 10 years ago now. 10 years ago now. That is crazy. 2014 does not feel like it was 10 years ago. 2-2 count to Stephen Kwan. Fouls it off, and he keeps the at-bat going. A strikeout ends the inning. Oh, you were born in 2014? Yikes. I was in 5th grade in 2014. Late 2014, early 2015, I was in 5th grade.
Now catching, number 23.
Yeah.
Bo Naylor.
Bo Naylor comes into the game to catch. As you can see, he's got all white catcher's gear on. It's a special moment for all white catcher's gear. Bryson Stott, floater to right field. Manzardo's back. Schneeman's back, and he's going to make the catch.
The catcher, JT.
For a huge out number 1, here comes Real Muto. We have not had a lot of walk-offs in this throughout this simulation series, so it would be cool to see one here today, possibly. Would have been cool to see one last night in Game 2. Solaire 0-2. How do you simulate an MLB show? I'll probably do a video kind of talking, probably might do a demo video talking about that. Or do like a little behind the scenes video of how the simulations work. But one way I can probably show you when this at bat's over, or when this inning's over. But pretty much, I guess one way to do it, so you go to the team select, and you can see here, I have the option to either be the Phillies or the Guardians. Like I picked the Phillies, and I'm hitting. Do you guys actually want to see me hit? I'm gonna bunt. There we go. Yeah, I wanted to bunt to get out of the inning. And then I go back and I can simulate the game like that. So, yeah, that's a little example there. Brandon Marsh didn't want to hit, so Kyle Manzardo leads off. There's a little pop-up. 2 Alec Bohm. Catches made, 1 away. Last chance for the Guardians to keep things going. Or last chance to put away the Phillies before heading into extra innings. And they got the heart of their lineup due up, and they got the heart of the team up next. Here's Jose Ramirez. Doubled and homered, and 2 of his 3 at-bats. There's a first pitch taken for a ball. Back-to-back extra innings. And back to in 2 different cities. One ball, 1 strike to Jose Ramirez, 1 out. Two and 1. Matt Strand being a little cautious here. Pitching to Jose Ramirez, and I think he got him, or he might want him. 2-2 count. See what he throws him here. That's hit hard down the line, and it goes foul. Swinging another 1-hit foul. And everybody left.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
3-1 count, or 3-2 count. And a 1-out walk with Josh Naylor coming up. One-out walk. Here's Josh Naylor, 0 for 3. Wanted an extras for the, or wanted for the Phillies runners going. Throw down by Realmuto, and Ramirez is barely safe. Wanted for the Guardians in Game 2. Hoping to win it here at home in Game 3. Here's the 0-2.
That's the ball.
Cutter taken
1 ball, 2 strikes.
for a ball 1. Naylor swinging a drive, right center field. Marsh is back, and that's how they win it in Game 3. Josh Naylor comes up clutch again for the Guardians. A walk-off home run in the 9th. Guardians win 3-1, and they lead this World Series up 2 games to 1. In the right center field, Brandon Marsh gave it some carry. And just like that, the Guardians win it in the 9th, a walk-off home run. This crowd is going nuts in Cleveland. They loved what they saw. Hopefully they love what they see tomorrow. Game 4's tomorrow. Guardians win 3-1 is the final score. I'm Josh Wright signing off from Cleveland. What a ball game. Signing off from Cleveland, Guardians.